It is my honor and pleasure to welcome Dr. Kalyan Rudra, Chairman of the West Bengal Pollution Control Board, who will give a special address. Sir, may I please call you upon on stage? By training, Dr. Rudra is a geographer by academic training with specialization in river and water management. He has a PhD from Calcutta University in 1989, and he continued his postdoctoral studies and was conferred a DSc degree in 2023. So, age has no bounds to learn, so he's an example. He has taught geography and environmental studies at the undergraduate and postgraduate level for over 4 decades and has worked for the rivers of West Bengal since 1979. Some of his pioneering and seminal works include the rivers of Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna Delta, a fluvial account of Bengal, and the Atlas of Changing River Courses in West Bengal, Sagas of Rivers of West Bengal, Indian Sundarban, a geographical analysis. He has edited and reproduced a Bengal Atlas, the outcome of the first systematic survey of Bengal conducted by Dr. James Rennell during the colonial rule. He has contributed to numerous book chapters and research papers. He is also heading the expert committee to advise the government of West Bengal for protection of coastal areas and earthen embankment systems through vegetative studies. And he was a member of the National Committee for Flood Management to advise the government of West Bengal. And he's also a member of the West Bengal Heritage Commissioner, and he writes editorial articles in leading newspapers. Now, this is something that was given to me, but on a personal note, and as we have noted by Dr. Faye, Dr. Datta, and anybody who's gone and worked with West Bengal, he's one of the few pollution control boards who are not only progressive in their approach, they will give you a free hand to work. He will actively stay back late and provide you food, by the way, but stay back late in the evenings to have technical discussions, ask questions. So it seems that, apart from a regulator, he's one of the people who truly means well for the environment. Apart from the many things that he's done and challenged the status quo, is West Bengal is one of the few states where the government has installed sensors, and they're keeping the data private, but they are using it for trend analysis to enhance the current monitoring network. And that is one of the many things Sir will talk about. So I won't take much time. Thank you, Sir, for coming. Shagoto apnake, please ashun.
Thank you, Shagota. My brief bio clearly says that air quality management is not my specialization. I worked for more than 3 decades on dynamic river system of the lower Indo-Gangetic plain. But in 2014, I often say to my students that I made a blunder. I agreed to be the chairman of the West Bengal Pollution Control Board. And since then, I gradually realized that air quality management is more serious issue than water quality. I believe that you can somehow manage the air quality of this room, but you are sometimes during 24 hours in ambient air, and the newborn baby to the senior most citizen of the country, poorest of the poor to richest of everybody is the victim. But I am a very good learner too. And for last 10 years, I was constantly trying to understand what governs the air pollution. I agreed when Shagota contacted me, I agreed to be here as a learner. But the tag given to me says that I am a presenter. But please bear about 15 minutes assigned to me. But my experience since 2017, when National Clean Air Program was declared, I was working in the West Bengal. And West Bengal is a very unique state in the country. It is the only state which touches both Himalaya in the north and Bay of Bengal in the south. This is point number 1. It is located at the tail end of the Indo-Gangetic plain, covering more than 1 million square kilometers. And Indo-Gangetic Plain is a sink, not only topography but also atmospheric sink. So air from Himalaya and the peninsular India comes down to Indo-Gangetic Plain and flows towards southeast during the winter months. And we experience a complete reversal of wind direction from southwest during this time, monsoon time, like that of the Africa, and from northwest to southeast during the winter months. But when air flows from Bay of Bengal towards the upper Indo-Gangetic Plain, it is absolutely free from pollution. But when it comes back during winter, it carries pollution. But to my utter surprise, same target of 40% reduction of pollution is given to upper Indo-Gangetic Plain state and that of the West Bengal, which carries about 40 to 50% of the pollutant during winter, which is marked as transboundary pollution. More important to me is that we consider PM10 till date. We don't take into account PM2.5, which is more deadly in regulatory action. During the lockdown, it gave us an unique opportunity. What would be the air quality if all anthropogenic activities are shut down? We worked during that time. None of my scientists had been in home. They came to our office every day, analyzed the data, and it reveals a striking findings that we found 47% reduction of the PM2.5 when everything was shut down. And that motivated me to go for further research. What are the sources of the remaining 53%? And subsequently, our collaboration with IIT Delhi, TERI, NIRI, and other premier institute of Kolkata like Indian Statistical Institute revealed that about 40 to 50% of the pollutant floating in Bengal comes from outside Bengal. And that is meteorologically governed. Till yesterday, we have discussed that how to control pollution, etc., and what will be the role of the low-cost sensor. And we need to understand one thing: we can somehow manage in situ sources of pollution, but we can't do nothing in case of meteorological factors which governs the pollution. We can't change the planetary wind system, nor we can change the temperature, nor we have any mechanism to control the vertical oscillation of the mixing layer or the planetary boundary layer, something like that. I believe that our understanding regarding the air quality management till date is incomplete. There are a long way to go. And I am very happy to see that many young researchers are coming forward from different disciplines. Unfortunately, we install different kinds of sensors in Bengal, at least 3 kinds of sensor. One is CAQMS, very costly. Annual, including maintenance cost, is about 1.5 crore INR. We have 22 such. We have manual stations as guided by the CPCB, which records twice in a week. That means it gives you a data of 104 days annually. Third is sensor-based data, which we have a very intensive network.
So the slide changer is here.
Yes, I will go. But this sensor-based data is not allowed for regulatory actions. Recently, we are further directed to introduce more and more manual stations, which will work for about 104 days at best. So, we will have to understand what we are trying to do. In this 21st century, we are relying on manual monitoring station, which our scientists will have to go to the place and remove the filter paper and come back, and there may be a lot of errors. You all know better than me. But till date, we are still relying on this. Look at this. This is our network. When I joined, we had about 14 CAQMS, all in non-attainment cities. We had about 6 non-attainment cities, starting from Kolkata up to Durgapur, Asansol, all in South Bengal. But we had about 14 such CAQMS and about 83 manual stations. But since we started to work, since 2017, we have created one of the most intensive air quality monitoring networks, sensor-based network. And that is linked with our, what we call integrated command and control center at our headquarters. And I have given it all the data to the public domain. I had been a teacher. I personally believe that no data is data unless it is challenged in public domain. It needs to be researched, it needs to be challenged. And so I invite all the scientists to access our website. Even if you have a smartphone, you can access our data live all the time, 24/7. The data, what we generate, can monitor particulate matter, PM2.5, PM10, SO2, NO2, and some meteorological parameters. This is very important to me, the meteorological parameters, because I understand nature is the greatest pollution control board. When I had been a student during my school days, I liked the winter in Kolkata because it was very pleasant. But since I joined West Bengal Pollution Control Board, I wanted winter to go away, because every day you will find frontline news in the leading newspaper that air is not fit for breathing. We try our level best. During last 3-4 years, we have somehow been able to improve the air quality of Kolkata. And in May last and June, it is not my report, it is report from IIT Delhi, Kolkata's air quality was better than even London and New York. But this does not mean that credit goes to me or my officers. It is the meteorology which controlled. So, meteorological research is also very important. You look at this. We have southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. And this northeast monsoon, northwest, that is the carrying pollution from Jharkhand, Bihar, and UP, even from Delhi. So, and we have in the north, the Nepal, Bhutan, and in south, the peninsular India. So, it is a very serious challenge to control the meteorology. We can't do anything. We can somehow control the meteorology. So, what I understand that since considering the space and the cost of installing CAQMS, I believe the sensor-based stations is the future of the research. And government of India should realize that we have no other options but to go for this, the sensor-based stations. But we need to improve I believe the standard, not all the sensor-based equipment are equally giving the same efficacy. Data validation is also important to me, that we are doing our best. And the study conducted by the IIT Delhi, we are very open to research institute. Right at this moment, I am keeping touch with IIT Delhi, I am keeping touch with NIRI, TERI, and recently I have started to work with, we have a huge database. Believe me, I very humbly admit that Pollution Control Board has not competent enough to handle this huge database, which is ever increasing. So, I am keeping touch with my friends in the Indian Statistical Institute. They have kindly agreed to work with us. We are going to sign a MOU with them, and we are also going for the predictive AQI and how we can manage this. Look at this. Apart from the 6 non-attainment city, I find there are some areas where the ambient air quality standard exceeds. You can see the map. Some of these are in rural areas, not in the industrial belt. This is very important to me. But till date, I don't know what are the differences of physico-chemical parameters of rural pollutant and that of the urban industrial pollutant. And this may be one important area of research in future. I also believe that meteorology, I talked to you that meteorology is very important to me. Relative humidity plays a very important role. I find that whenever relative humidity is very high, fortunately Bengal, air relative humidity remains about 85–90% almost throughout the year, even during the dry season. That plays a very important role. So relative humidity and wind speed, these are the very important areas of research. And I also want to know whether the rural pollutants are equally deadly. This is one important question right at this moment I am exploring. And I also believe that one pollution control board can do nothing unless every citizen of India comes forward. So we have a network of, with the school children, we have a network of about more than 6,000 schools in Bengal. We have also a program launched by the Government of India, what they call Mission Life program. And we are keeping constant touch with the school children. We conduct workshop because I believe that they are the future of the country. So we need concerned citizen who will not just throw away plastic, which has a lifespan of about 12 minutes. Believe me that the concerned citizen, in spite of many regulatory orders, that the microplastic is increasingly becoming a challenge in the urban areas. I saw one international report that some of the western cities, each citizen consuming 250 grams of microplastic through water, even the bottled water having microplastic, and the air too. We are also studying the available microplastic in the atmosphere of Bengal. So what may be the future of our research? I believe that a gathering galaxy of researchers are here. I identified a few areas where we can collaborate in future. Look at this. We have generated data in the field that comes through cloud into our integrated command and control system, and that we disseminate. Deliberately, I have installed all the sensor-based stations, mostly in academic institutes, like colleges, university, and technological institute. And I tried to motivate the teachers and students to go on further research on this. Domestic air pollution is a serious challenge where we can collaborate in future. Because more than 1 million households in Bengal till date rely on solid fuel. In a pilot project, we tried to motivate them to switch over to gas. And from Pollution Control Board, we gave them gas oven and cylinder. After a few days, they refused. You just imagine a lady in farthest corner of Bengal, living along a forest side, what she is doing. She going to the forest in the morning and bringing some dry woods in the evening and using them as domestic fuel. She says, sir, my fuel is free. And if you go to the Bardhaman, which is the coal hub, the coal is almost free. Then we started to work on, can we switch over them to a kind of improved chula or cook stove, which may reduce the pollutant to the tune of about 70%. That we are working, but reaching 11 million households is not an easy task. Right at this moment, we are collaborating or discussion going on with the World Bank. If they can come forward, they have agreed to come forward. Second is, can we go for carbon trading? Third is, can we explore some philanthropic donors? Even we are trying to link it with the CSR activities for the carbon marketing. Second important area, what I would like to invite all researchers to come forward if they can help us. Secondary aerosol formation is a serious challenge for us. 65% of the land in West Bengal is under agriculture. We produce 1, 2, 3 crops. And Bengal had been described as paradise of India during colonial rule because it is very, very productive land. And nowadays, using too much of chemical fertilizers, like nitrogenous and all other things, that leads to sometimes secondary aerosol formation, which is little understood till date. Third is presence and impact of black carbon in atmosphere is also little understood till date. We have started one project in Kolkata conducted by Terry. Third important, last important issue, I also said that not all the pollutant, particularly we have challenge of particulate matter, PM 2.5 and PM 10. Fortunately, all other pollutants do not exceed the permissible limit in our state. But these two has a peak during January or December. The pollution starts from mid-October, better to say from the night of Diwali. It shoots, believe me, while permissible limit in 24 hours is 100 microgram per cubic meter, in one area of Kolkata, it reached 980 microgram during the Diwali night in 2020. It was so alarming for me. So I say the people need to come forward. Awareness generation is, and I also wanted to go on further research whether all the pollutant floating in rural and the urban areas are same in nature. Are they physico-chemically same? Are they equally toxic? These are the areas where we can collaborate, where we can seek your expertise. I believe with these few words, I stop here. Thank you all for your patient hearing.
So I am not going to try and even sum up the wealth of things Sir has spoken, but we have time for 2 questions from the audience, and if there is a question from online. And Sir is here till today evening, so you can take this discussion forward. Anyone from the audience? Yes, Mrinmoy, please. Can we have a mic for him? Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. This is Mrinmoy. I'm a PhD candidate from University of British Columbia, and I'm a Bengali. I stay in Kolkata. And thank you, sir, for sharing all the insights, and I congratulate you for the efforts that the government is taking to improve the air quality. As I understand that West Bengal is surrounded by other 3 countries. On the east side we have Bangladesh, on the northern side we have Nepal and Bhutan. So what do you think about the transboundary pollution exchange from the other countries which are surrounded? Do we have any plan to collaborate with the other countries and kind of exchange knowledge between the countries, empower each other, and how we can help? Any thoughts on that?
Thank you, Mrinmoy. Mrinmoy happens to be Bongo Santan. That means son of the land. So he has an understanding of the geography of Bengal. Yes, the government of India is keen to launch a program, or rather it has already been initiated, what they call Indo-Gangetic Plain Pollution Management Program, IGP Pollution Management. The World Bank is initiating. We had a series of meetings. First one was on Kathmandu, second one was at Lucknow, and third, about a month back, we met at Thimphu, Bhutan. So we are trying to bring within the umbrella the Nepal, Bhutan, and also Bangladesh. But West Bengal Pollution Control Board is a regulatory authority. We have limited domain, so we can work on the territory covering 88,752 square kilometer. But what we are trying to do, this is a unique project conceived by our officers and myself. We have a 800 kilometer long western border, where from the study made by the IIT Delhi says that 40% to 50% of the pollutant coming from the outside Bengal. We have started to create a bioshield. Bioshield means a kind of Chinese wall, not concrete, but a green wall along the western border of Bengal. I don't know how much pollutant will be intercepted by this. If it be 10 to 20%, I am very happy. But it has many other, it will also render many other ecological services, including that of the biodiversity protection that we have started so far. We have so far been managed to do about 30 kilometers or so, but it's a long way to go. But I am sure we will complete this. It will take about 6 to 7 years for full-grown trees. It will be a green corridor, green wall along the western border. I believe my friend from China is also here. Many people going to China, see the Chinese wall, and in future, after a decade, people will go to Bengal to see that bioshield. This we have done so far, and research collaboration is continuing under the leadership of World Bank to how to intercept and how to reduce the transboundary pollution.
Thank you. And big round of applause for sir.